Welcome to Movie Slice.
You got Kara, I don't know. Fine, just hold your breath.
Quick, fun recaps of your favorite movies, sharp, funny, and to the point. Hit subscribe and get your perfect slice of cinema. Our movie time trap begins with the university professor and archaeologist Hopper, who is accompanied by his dog and searching for his family that disappeared after entering a cave. They were trying to discover the Fountain of Youth, and according to legend, the water of the fountain can restore youth and health. When Hopper arrives at the site of the disappearance, he finds the cave. At the entrance, he shines his flashlight and sees a cowboy dressed in old-fashioned clothes not from our era. The cowboy is standing still, not moving, as if he were a statue. Hopper is shocked by the sight, becomes frightened, and returns home. It turns out Hopper had planned to explore the cave with his colleagues Taylor and Jackie, but when he gets home, he tells them things have changed and doesn't mention what he saw because he's worried about their safety. Hopper decides to go back to the cave alone. He ties a rope to a rock outside the cave and goes inside, finding a barrier that separates the inner world of the cave from the outside world. He goes through the barrier, and as soon as he enters, the cowboy who was frozen starts moving. Hopper's exploration of the cave lasts 2 days, and Taylor and Jackie haven't heard from him, so they decide to go look for him at the cave. Because Hopper had taken their car, they call Taylor's girlfriend, Kara, and ask her to come with her father's car. Kara brings her sister Vivs because Vivs has a school project, and they also bring Vivs' schoolmate Furby. The group arrives at the location Hopper told them about, finds Hopper's family's car, and learns that Hopper wanted to find his family and had told them he was looking for people missing since the 70s. They find an old rope extending into the cave and follow it, but find it cut in. They think the rope is in Hopper's because it looks old and Hopper has only been missing for 2 days. The group decides to descend into the cave through an opening using ropes, leaving Furby above because he is afraid to go down. When they go down the opening, Kara discovers the same barrier Hopper found 2 days earlier and says the air and atmosphere on the other side are completely different. They decide to pass through the barrier. At the same time, Hopper is following the cowboy and starts to feel something is wrong, and he sees lights turning on and off at the entrance of the cave, and suddenly he hears a screaming sound, so he quickly gets out of the cave. And Hopper had entered the cave 5 minutes ago in the morning, and the sun was shining, but when he exits, he finds it's now night, and the environment outside the cave is completely different. When he goes to his car, he finds it covered by plants, as if decades have passed while he was in the cave. Hopper finds Kara's car and Jackie's bag, so he decides to go back into the cave. The group continues exploring the cave, and suddenly they hear a scream. The girls are frightened and decide to leave the cave. Jackie tries to climb out using the rope, but the rope snaps while she's on it, and she falls to the ground. Taylor is injured trying to save her and pulls himself up on another rope, but it also turns out to be cut. The group suspects Furby deliberately cut the ropes as a prank. They try to contact Furby via the walkie-talkie, but he doesn't respond. After a while, they hear static on the walkie-talkie and a distress call, thinking it's Furby. With no other choice, they leave the injured Jackie behind because she can't walk. The group reaches the other side of the cave and finds a cut rope. They are shocked to find Furby's body, with a broken neck, and his camera next to him. They play the recording to find out what happened. Furby had filmed himself opening Hopper's father's notebook, which says the cave contains magical water that can heal any illness. Hopper's sister had a severe illness, so their family decided to search for the water in the cave, so their daughter could recover. Days pass for Furby as he waits for his friends to return, and he decides to enter the cave to look for them himself, thinking they might be dead, and also to get the car keys so he can go home. The seconds that passed from the group's entry into the cave felt like days for Furby. The recording also shows that Furby was hanging from the rope to descend, but it broke, and he fell from a great height, but survived, though he remained unconscious for an hour. When he woke up, he saw someone approaching and thought it was Taylor. They try to leave the cave and seek help. Kara decides to climb out first before Vivs because she's the oldest. She climbs through the opening and manages to leave the cave, but finds herself in a completely different place with no sign of life, just desert and rocks, and the air is strange. Kara has difficulty breathing because there's no oxygen. She sees a huge dust storm approaching and something flying in the sky shaped like a triangle. She can't use her phone to call the police, so she goes back into the cave. When the group sees her, they tell her she didn't have time to do anything or call for help because she returned just seconds after she left, but she had actually been outside for half an hour. They realize that time outside the cave passes much faster than inside, making everything inside move or happen in slow motion. Taylor says the ropes outside the cave have aged and snapped when they tried to climb them due to friction with the rocks and their age. Vivs watches Furby's camera recording again and notices that the sun rises and sets quickly as Furby makes the opening, and the seasons change from summer to winter, with a whole year passing in 1 second. It turns out the group has spent 5 ascending war 100 years inside the cave, which felt like just minutes to them. Kara climbs up the opening again, and suddenly a highly advanced technological ladder descends from the opening to where the group is. A giant man in a spacesuit comes down the ladder. Suddenly a primitive caveman appears and attacks the alien. The alien manages to kill the caveman. The group is terrified and runs deeper into the cave. Inside they find the bodies of the cowboy and Hopper's family murdered. Suddenly 3 primitive men appear, and it turns out they killed Hopper's family. Taylor decides to attack one of them, but the primitive man kills him brutally. The girls are scared and quickly escape to the other side of the cave. Kara returns to Taylor, finds him dead, and cries over her lover's death. The alien appears and carries Taylor's body and puts it in water in the cave. Something magical happens and Taylor comes back to life. The primitives return again, and the alien comes and removes the helmet he is wearing from him. The alien is exposed to the air and does not know how to breathe, but he knows how to kill the primitives before he dies and burns. Before dying, he manages to kill the primitive man. As he is dying, he shows the group videos from the media talking about their disappearance. It turns out humans left Earth and went to another planet, so humanity wouldn't go extinct because Earth became uninhabitable. The group realizes there's no way back, and their only option is to travel to the other planet, or to live in the cave their whole lives. And Taylor finds Hopper injured on the ground. There is a barrier in front of them, and on the other side of the barrier is Hopper's sister, who has been missing since the 70s. She is with many people of different ages and generations, as well as time remnants, and they are all frozen, fighting over the fountain of youth. Hopper explains what he has deduced, that this cave is a temporal system, designed to protect the fountain, and that each layer has its own time speed. Time in the deeper layer of the cave moves more slowly than in the layer where Taylor and Hopper. The group uses the magical water to heal injured Jack, and they put Furby's body in it, bringing him back to life. Suddenly a primitive human enters and attacks them. With nowhere else to go, they decide to use the basket that came down from space into the cave, and they escape, reaching the end of the opening. There is a layer separating the opening from the water, and Kara tries to penetrate the layer and passes through it, but suddenly strange creatures grab her. These creatures are humans who have evolved over the ages, and they give Kara a mask so she can breathe. After a while, Kara returns to the cave, wearing a spacesuit and carrying a rope made with advanced future technology. She helps the group, including Furby and Hopper's family, out with. In the end, everyone gets out alive and finds themselves on a spaceship, heading towards the planet where humans currently live. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all new updates. See you in the next video. Good.
But we're kind of a big deal around here.